Okay.
Are we doing that thing that we
nice.
talked about doing, by the way, right before vacation?
What's that?
That thing. I heard some stories. I think we're supposed to be, but you know how this place is. Things get planned, and then
Oh, fuck that.
things get planned, and then they fucking fall apart.
You actually
hope we
took that
do.
as a serious thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
I took it as serious as I took.
They actually said, hey, we want you guys to do blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, whatever, cool. Let me know the details, knowing it's never going to work out.
I took it as serious as I took Steve's email about Ving Rhames coming in.
Right. Oh, he's not coming in.
That's how seriously I took the other thing. Ving Rhames. I saw that. Ving Rhames. Yeah, here comes Steve. Yeah, Steve, come here.
He's
come
not.
Here. Watch this. Watch this. Yes. Ving Rhames is coming in.
I said.
When's he coming in? Today?
Tuesday.
Is he coming in?
Not confirmed. That's what I
Not confirmed. That's but that's the whole thing. The not confirmed. But you could say Obama's coming in next
Not
Friday,
confirmed.
and it's not confirmed.
But he isn't.
But well, Ving
What's
Rhames,
the Ving Rhames thing? How'd this happen?
He's promoting Piranha 3D.
But we have to take Zed first.
So he's promoting a movie.
Right.
So how did the booking come about?
I got an email from one of the talent people.
What'd they say?
Said he's going to be.
You
around.
might not know us, but we work here too.
They're very helpful. Said he's available from 10 a.m. to noon. I'm pushing for 9:45. Looks good so far. I'll let you know when it's confirmed.
He just
Okay.
might, because Piranha's
A bomb.
that looks like a
Oh
bomb.
Jesus! Now he's definitely not coming in.
'Cause I'm sure he's listening.
He might love the show.
That'll be great.
I love the
Man.
show.
I love the show.
I love the celebrity that says they love the show, but you know they've never heard the
No,
show.
man, I'm pretty fucking far from loving the show.
Wow, that's a big drop-off, huh?
Yeah.
Let's blow up our fucking interview right now. Going
wanna
from
do-
Pulp Fiction to Piranha 3D.
Well, you know what though? Dawn of the
Yikes
Dead,
E.
one of my fucking favorite fucking zombie
Well,
movies,
he-
and he did a great job in that one.
Then why is he doing Piranha 3D?
Same reason Richard Dreyfuss is doing it. Money.
Well,
Dreyfuss said that.
Oh, does he play Matt Hooper in it?
He does.
He does.
I know. Why?
can we get Richard
Why
Dreyfuss?
is he
Not
doing
to
that?
impress.
Money.
Why is he tainting the
Oh, he's not
character?
to impress?
Not to
Oh,
impress.
that's a bad sign.
No, he's probably knows.
Of course.
I
Why
don't
would
think
he
he's in it
want
for
to?
very long. I think, and I
Does
don't.
he die
I
really
think
quickly?
one of the clips I saw online was Elizabeth Shue finding Dreyfuss's corpse.
Why would they taint the character after so many
And why would
years?
they
It's
show
like-
that on fucking line?
I know, unless
Let
she's
it be a
being fucked in the
surprise.
ass and leaving what was it? Leaving Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, is that great? Her fucking rump.
Oh,
A juicy shoe ass.
Good. Shoe ass.
all right, break time?
Sure.
Yeah, I got a tinkle.
Let's remind people that Ving Rhames will be on the show tomorrow.
Is this really going down?
Yeah.
Ving Rhames will definitely be in studio. Well, who knows? You can't
Have
say
we
definitely
decided?
ever.
What am I doing? Is it bad if I haven't signed two things? You think?
No, but I will say this.
He's got to sign shit.
But we can't. E-Rock will have like 30 things for somebody to sign.
Well,
That's too much. A couple things, yeah. I
No,
get it,
let's
but-
pile up the shit and make him sign the entire time.
No,
he's
but
in
literally,
studio.
these guys will walk
man.
out.
Yes,
He'll
let's
have
do that.
He'll have fucking 12 things.
No.
It's like you can't. Come on,
No, man.
it's too much.
I want him to sign Pulp Fiction, of course, but then I also want him to sign Dawn of the Dead.
Wow. Nice combo.
I'd probably get Pulp Fiction.
I want that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I already got Pulp Fiction signed by Bruce Willis,
Day
Travolta,
of the Dead. Excuse me. Did I say
and
Dawn?
Sam Jackson.
Stupid.
The same one?
I lied. I don't have it signed by anybody. It's just my acting.
I was pretty excited for you. Hey, Rock, what's going on today?
Ving Rhames is here.
Yeah, he'll be here in a little bit. Steve was saying that he's on his way up.
Oh.
He meant the DVDs, not Ving. It was just a miscue.
I wanted some pointers on how to get fucked in the ass with a ball gag.
Give some pointers, you mean. I plugged this on Red Eye last night, our big Ving Rhames interview.
Nice.
I certainly did.
I like it.
It's cool. I don't mind her. Everyone's running around like crazy. Is it because Ving Rhames is here? Hey, that's deep boy.
Is he on his way up?
Yeah.
Steve disappeared.
Yes. Oh well, that's what he does best. Yes, I disappear. Let's see what we got.
What are all those?
Plot of Piranha 3D.
How many things are there?
Right, Ving Rhames stars in the movie as Deputy Fallon.
Dave's gone.
Elizabeth Shue is in this.
Oh, okay.
Eli
Yeah.
Roth, Christopher Lloyd, Richard Dreyfuss, and of course the great and talented Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
What is this about the film having supposed to do a panel at Comic-Con, but the Comic-Con people reportedly thought the footage was inappropriate?
Really?
What does that mean?
Well, we're gonna find out.
That better be true, because if he goes, I don't know what you're talking about, motherfucker. Motherfucker. Ving is in the
Ving
lobby.
Rhames is in the library.
Danny, library, and the lobby.
He's checking out some books, so he's going to stop by at his leisure.
Danny, any idea of what guitar he plays?
I don't know.
You might want to dart down to Sam Ash.
If he's not sponsored by ESP, I'm going to be in big trouble.
Yeah. What kind of ball gag does he use?
I wanted to get one.
You think he would sign
I
a
really
ball
did want to
gag?
get an
I
orange
wonder.
ball gag, but it's probably a little late now. That's like the coolest thing to have.
Oh, totally. Come on.
And if you didn't want to sign it, you just wait outside and just sign it there.
Yeah.
And what if he still doesn't sign it?
Oh.
At least Travis gets a good video
make a
out of it.
video. Yeah, that would be cool.
Am I gonna recognize this guy?
You better recognize.
You better recognize.
Either that or a Band-Aid.
Yeah, Band-Aid for the back of his neck. Let's all ask him what was in the case.
When he walks in, just go, hey, you do look like a bitch.
Is he coming down the hall?
My nigga. You my nigga? Apparently so.
I don't think I want you to hear you saying that word.
Why? It was used a lot in Pulp Fiction. That's all
There
I
he
was
is.
feeling. Well,
That's E-Rock.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's Pig Rhames.
You're talking about
you're like, Jimmy just goofed on you really bad.
Why are you in here?
I think he's watered down. He's coming. Be here in a second.
Nice coffee?
Ice.
How does he look? Does he look like Ving Rhames?
Big dude.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
He is a big dude.
Yeah.
Bald black eyes. Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's racist.
You can
True.
leave,
Exactly. So what?
You can leave bald out of that, by the way. Just black guys.
Oh, I think he's all black guys.
Oh, he's bald. Because, shaves his head.
Now where is it?
Bad motherfucker. Holy shit, what is that from?
I don't know.
Hope that's not
Apparently
home,
it's from
home movies.
I guess it's Chuck and Larry. I now
Oh, yeah.
pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
He was in Chuck and Larry?
It's the first I've known of it.
I like that
and
E-Rock
gentlemen.
points over his shoulder like it's a big secret.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ving Rhames is here, ladies and gentlemen.
What is Steve babbling about?
Ving Rhames.
How you doing, man?
Ving, how are
What's
you?
up, brother?
See you, man.
Good. What's up, man?
Pleasure.
Hey, man.
How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Good.
I'm digging the hat.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Styling.
I get paid
slick.
for that, so to wear these, so,
You get paid to wear those?
yeah.
Hat, you got a hat
Damn,
sponsorship?
Yeah.
Oh, because Danny ran out to buy a hat and hoped you would sign
I
it,
got-
but
I
it's
got
not
a-
the one he sponsors.
No. I'm the same way, brother. I'm the same. No,
Would you sign my New Era hat if I had one?
New Era, right? Actually, I like New Era. Fit.
See, this is
Yeah.
going to work
New
out
Era
for me.
fits
This is
in
going to
that.
work one of these days.
One of these days, Danny. Jesus Christ.
So the hat company said we'd like you to wear these and we'll just give them to you and pay you to wear them?
No. I hate using the term model, but I model for Stacey Adams, but I don't wear their hats. I wear Stetsons and Dobbs.
Oh, okay.
So, but this is supposed to be a Stacey Adams.
Stetson's a pretty slick.
hat. Yeah.
You look good in that hat. I don't look good in hats.
Yeah, we wouldn't look as good as you in
I
that
don't know. I
hat.
think you could.
I don't look good out of hats either.
Baseball cap.
Jimmy doesn't look good in hats, Ving. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you look like
I
you
just
should
gotta
be.
get you the right hat.
I look like a child wearing my dad's hat when I have a hat on.
No, I'm gonna send some over. I think I got.
Yeah,
some.
send him over a hat.
I think a rounder hat for my face, like that. You're a guy with a face that any hat works for. I just don't have a hat face.
No.
That's the end of my hat discussion.
Patrice is good with hats, too.
Yeah, Jimmy
He
does a
can wear
lot of
hat.
TV, though, so you get him a hat, he'll put it on TV
yeah.
for you.
You're
Help
the
you out a little
comedian.
bit.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
What, Ving?
damn.
A couple of men who probably bumped into each other on the set somewhere. You know how it is. A couple of big actors
God,
sitting
I
here
hate
talking.
I hate when real actors know you.
What? It's just the way it
Just
is.
annoys me.
You really just upset everybody. Ving.
Yeah, they hate when celebrities
By
recognize me.
acknowledging
But
Jimmy.
honestly, the guy who brought me up, he said that this guy was a comedian.
Oh, okay.
On the Tonight Show. I'm just being honest. That's the truth, honestly.
That serves me right.
I feel so much better now.
That serves me
I
right.
feel so much better.
And Jimmy's having a bad day. We should have just allowed you to have that
Nah,
one.
that's
Yeah.
all right. It's what I deserve because I would have really.
No, but
fucking...
I hear you're very funny, though. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. Probably the same guy in the elevator told him that.
That's true. He did.
Was that our
I'm
producer?
just being honest. Yeah, he did.
Telling me it's funny.
Was that our producer, Steve? Was it
Guy
her?
with, yeah, it was him.
Okay.
What did I ask you about him when you said he was a comedian? What did I say? Be honest.
I'm not familiar with him.
He told me he spoke very highly of you.
Thank you, Steve.
Jimmy, sorry. Yeah, that happens.
Thank
Ving, new movie coming out, of course, Piranha in 3D. Your first 3D movie, I guess, huh?
Actually, I have one that's coming out next year, but this is my first 3D movie.
First 3D. Any difference in what you're doing there?
The
Did you
thing
have to
is,
dive toward the camera a few times?
no, actually, I like the artistic freedom of it because really, you're kind of improvising what's there.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it just you can go all off, and they have to match to what you do.
To what you're
so
doing.
that was my first time where I had a situation. The other 3D film, I had to match more to whatever green screen or what have you.
Right.
But this one was, it gave me a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
Is the structure changed, like where they're saying, all right, we'll do this towards camera? Or is it more like, the old Friday the 13th 3D movie? It was like we were talking, it's like a spear
It's so
or a rock
obvious,
being thrown
yeah.
at the camera.
I think this is a bit more realistic, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the director, he focused more on the reality of what's happening versus us trying to create a certain look or shot.
Yeah, because some of the deliberate 3D is some of the worst stuff I've ever seen, where it's intentional. Like Jaws 3D was just poof.
I haven't seen
It's
any
just,
of those,
You're
honestly.
trying to poke into the camera to make it look like it's coming out at you. I like more of an immersive kind of 3D where you
Like
feel
Avatar.
like you're in the movie kind of a thing.
Oh, Avatar to me, honestly, it was too damn long. I was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh
Thank
my
God for the 3D, right?
Yeah, I was like, come on, now, move on. Let's,
Finish up.
Actually, I fell asleep.
We
Honestly.
know where this is going, dude.
My kids liked it, but I fell asleep.
Yeah. Of course, an iconic movie, Pulp Fiction. That was like your big breaking movie, wasn't it? I mean, you've done movies before.
I think what happens is the film that breaks 100 million becomes the big one for
Yeah.
you. But I graduated out of the Juilliard School, and literally, I graduated on like a Friday, started work on Monday, and that's all I've ever done for a living is act since I graduated school. So I did a film. I think one of my first ones was a film called Dave with Kevin Kline, who had, oddly enough, graduated from the Juilliard School maybe 12 years before me. So, but no, I've always, honestly, I thank God, man. I've been very fortunate and blessed to be a working actor my whole career.
And some really good movies, too.
But that was the one that really, made a lot of money, and I was blessed to work with some very good actors.
Did you have a feeling about that one? Like, wow, I think we're as you were filming, like, I think we got something here.
No, and kind of what I've learned is the better you are as an actor, the better I become. Mm-hmm. You see, like if I'm working with someone, I was working with John Travolta and Sam Jackson, Bruce Willis, and Uma Thurman, and you name it.
Yeah.
So for me, it helped. It brought out a lot of the quote unquote best in me.
Because it's a very quotable movie. I'm sure you know. You're just constantly quoted during that movie because the writing is fantastic.
And also it's interesting because Quentin used, I remember back then, the word nigga.
Yeah.
And honestly, how he used the word, and if people look closely, it's almost like I could call you a nigga. Yo, what's up, my nigga? But he wrote it in where even my character calls Bruce Willis nigga.
Yeah.
You my nigga now?
Apparently so.
Yeah, exactly. So he kind of, in some senses, took away the power from the word and just made it, hey, like, what's up, dude?
I always wondered how, because there is that scene where he's addressing Jules and Vince in the house, and he's just constantly throwing the word at him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that must be kind of odd for Quentin to have to stand there and just berate somebody like
Spike
that.
Lee gave him a lot of shit for that. He said that he seemed like he was trying to shoehorn it in just to have an excuse to say it. Now, being on the set, did you not feel that way?
No, I don't feel that way. But see, I think I applaud Spike Lee for the films he's done, but I think you have the artistic freedom, and I think that me knowing Quentin, I know where it comes from.
Right.
You say, I don't know how well Spike knew. I don't think Spike really knew him then, so he's speaking from an outside perspective. And I think sometimes, and I'm very careful. For instance, I'm supposed to do a show later today, but part of it is doing current events and giving my perspective on current events, which is only my own opinion. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not a sociologist, so who am I to, and
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we choose a lot of times actors, and it goes all the way back to, let's say, Jackie Robinson speaking on Muhammad Ali when he decided not to go to the Vietnam War. You see, they'll take someone in the limelight, and I call it divide and conquer. So for me as an artist, I don't really feel, I mean, it's in a respectful way, but your opinion doesn't matter to me,
Right.
positive or negative. People thought bad of Jesus Christ, so I know they're going to think bad of me. No matter what I do, somebody's going to have something to say.
Yeah. People put more credence in what actors or entertainers have to say and take things a lot more literally. You really don't have the latitude that just the common guy maybe sitting in a bar with his friends have to say things because you're held accountable so much.
Yeah, I agree. And see, I think this, and I don't know if that's necessarily a positive thing, but I work with a group called Developing Options now. It's a gang intervention group started by a guy who was in a Rolling 60s Crip hood, and that's the biggest Crip hood in L.A. And what I really found was this platform that God has given me as an actor, it's really to do something else. What good is it if a man, what good is it if a man gains the whole world and loses his own soul? But what good is it if we're on the airwaves and we're not trying to help mankind grow in some way?
Do you feel like you're shoveling against the tide with a gang intervention program? Because it just seems to be a problem that just cannot go away.
Okay, well, I look at this. The first thing I realize is, and I know there was just a shooting in Harlem. I was looking; it wasn't on too many stations. I saw it on one,
Yeah, I know.
and I was flipping around. Oof. But I think what happened is I met a gentleman named Big U, who was the head of the Rolling 60 Crips, and he went to jail for 16 and a half years. And he said, "Look, I helped create this problem, so I have to help solve it." Now, in his hood, gang violence has dropped 46%, and he was just got a certificate from the mayor like 4 weeks ago. So I always tell people only the hood can police the hood. It's just like with the mob. You see what I'm saying? Only, whatever, John Gotti's neighborhood, John Gotti can control the neighborhood. The police cannot.
Right.
However, I think sometimes racially, or quote unquote culturally, people don't understand street codes and hood rules. And also, I think that in general, police, you can get a PhD and never take one African American history class and get a PhD. So you see, so that almost shows you, well, I have to learn American history or Eurocentric American history. I have to take that in class from elementary on up to college. I have to. You don't have to take anything about a culture outside of the dominant culture in society. What message does that send to the kid of color?
See, I agree with you. But Anthony is a person who says, like, he doesn't like the revisionist history, where I think that you kind of should be both ways, but he thinks that you should.
I don't say revisionist history. It's history is history. I think American history should be include everything that's happened in this country.
I agree, and I think it should also include other cultures.
Jimmy trying to instigate with Ving Rhames.
I just want to see Ving throw one punch.
No. I've been down that road before.
Jimmy's selling me out.
I've gotten sued. No.
Wait, you've been down the road of what, you hit a fan or was a reporter?
No. I think
Jesus.
I gotta say this nicely.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way. I grew up under hood rules. I grew up on 126th Street in Harlem.
Yeah,
under
sure.
hood rules. Now that's different than mainstream America rules. So mainstream America doesn't really understand hood rules. For instance, simple, if you talked about my mother, that's like you throwing a punch at me. I have the right to punch you. You feel me? But in mainstream, that's hood rules. You see what I'm saying? But in mainstream America, sticks and stones break my bones, but words, I get sued for it.
Right,
so
right.
I've been in some incidents like that, and even incidents where, look, if we're grown men and we decide to do something illegal and you get caught and I don't, there's a hood rule that you don't snitch on me. That's a hood rule.
Sure.
Now, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
necessarily mainstream America, but if it's two men, we agree to whatever, rob a bank, then and I get caught, I won't say anything, and vice versa. Well, what's happened now is hood rules have been modified.
Lawyers. Damn lawyers.
You see,
Once
hood rules have
again,
been modified, so that can
That's like the hood
cause
rules
some
now.
violence,
Yeah.
and I'll leave it at that.
Now, how did you go from growing up uptown, hood rules, to Juilliard? That seems to be quite the leap.
Well, real talk, I call it divine intervention. I always say, I didn't choose acting, God chose me to act. And I think that for whatever reason, guys, died around me. I'll show you this because, I got stabbed up.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow, really?
Yeah, so, you know.
Damn,
Ving
you
has
did
a
get
lot of
stabbed up.
scars right in the. It's
Yep.
below the neck and above and the chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, when did that happen?
And I was like 17. Right? But, you know, I grew up in a gang culture, you see. And
Wait, how do you
so-
survive that? I mean, you
Well,
can't
again,
just...
that's why I say I didn't choose acting. God chose
Right.
me to act.
So you should have
Why?
died from
I
those
don't
injuries
know.
is what you're
Well,
thinking?
no, I'm not thinking I should have died. No.
Well, not should have, but I mean, your injuries...
No, I look at it the other
You
way.
just
I
showed
look
us
at
some
it
brutal
as, thank God I'm
scars.
here. Yeah, but I just look at it as, you know what? I'm here for a purpose, for a reason.
Right.
And I may not, and I think I kind of understand it. I think I've been able to grow up in poverty, and now I'm rich. So, and I'm the first generation. My children, the first children growing up, quote unquote, rich. So I've been all over the world and see both sides. So I have a different perspective from quote unquote black, white, international, what have you. I have many Jewish friends and I have many Palestinian friends. You see what I'm saying? I spent 6 months in Israel. So how I view the world and from what we see on the media, I don't find the media normally telling the truth. I'll put it this way. It hasn't been my experience what the media has reported internationally. You see, so, I think I'm in a quote unquote privileged position that I can take my knowledge and my experience and help a kid stop falling into traps that I might have fallen into. And friends of mine, for instance, Rikers Island, they spend $47,000 per inmate, and they have 10,000 inmates 24/7 around the clock.
A lot of money.
Now now watch this. So, black men are approximately 7% of America's population, but we're like 65% of the prison population.
Yeah, knock it off.
Yeah. Now watch it. Yeah, you see. Now watch it. But when you go in a black neighborhood, I noticed that or all over the world, white, black, what have you, where there's poverty, there's going to be crime. Period. You see. Now then I look at now they're building more prisons, and they're building private prisons. And at $47,000 per inmate, do we really think they spend $47,000 on an inmate who's locked in a cell most of the time, get 3 meals a day, not great food?
Right.
You see my point?
Someone's getting some money.
That's my point. Now that's approximately in Rikers. There's almost $500 million, $500 million dollars. You see, and so who's gonna fill up those cells in prison? In general, it's going to be poor white men and women, poor black men and women, and poor Latino men and women. You see, but how I grew up, I was like, well, why is it in my neighborhood there's a basketball court and a liquor store and a drug dealer probably on every other corner, and throw in a church in between
Convenience?
everybody? Yeah, you see where I'm going from. So, and then when I started looking at it and analyzing it, I'm saying, look, is there a quote unquote, Oliver Stone, is there a conspiracy to get our children to fill up these prisons? I'm connecting the dots now. You see, because they're building more prisons, and in general, black, Latino men and poor white men fill them up.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah.
Well, it's the truth.
Can I ask you a question, though? Because this is about, like, the things in the neighborhood liquor stores and stuff. It seems like when a lot of places go into black neighborhoods, a lot of Korean stores or delis or whatever, they're met with a lot of resentment from people who are in the neighborhood. So does that, you think, prevent people? Because businesses want to make money. So, there's a lot of black people in black neighborhoods. It's a great place to go in there if you have a business. Are they met with resentment when they come into a black neighborhood as non-blacks?
Have you seen gentrification in Harlem?
Yeah.
Go down 125th Street.
Yeah.
Big business has taken over, quote unquote, formerly black Latino Harlem.
Right.
I grew up on 126th Street between Morningside and Amsterdam, like a block away from 125th, the Apollo Theater, what have you. If you walk down there, it's mainstream America businesses that have taken over.
Times Square is kind of
exactly.
There,
Well, and also what happens is that's a prime location. I still own a place in Harlem that I bought with a student loan in 1982 when I was at the Juilliard School. I still own the place. You see, I bought it for $3,000, a 2-bedroom apartment. It was called a Teal Grant for low-income housing. Now it's worth $250,000 because Bill Clinton has his office in Harlem. So you see what I'm saying? So gentrification, eventually we're going to be pushing the poor people out of certain areas. Like Harlem on the train, A train or D train, if I remember correctly, is maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes away from 59th Street.
But is that a bad thing in general to take a neighborhood that did have its problems and big business comes in and kind of makes it less crime is going on up there, more business is going on?
Well, I'll put it this way. If you're in your home and I make it so that you can't afford to live there anymore, is that fair?
No.
You may have the right to do it, but you simply, you have the right. Big business has the right to do, whatever if you have cash. But I think at some point, and this is what I keep stressing, is that if we don't deal with problems, especially in the inner city, as we see now, have gone to the suburbs, like, I'll use Columbine, for instance. You see what I'm saying? Well, killings in L.A., which is where I live now, shootings in schools were going on for, decades. When it happened in Columbine, it was on the news for the next 2 years or 3 years, or the anniversary of Columbine, what have you. So I think that if we don't start trying to nip problems in the bud when they're in the inner city, be it the drug problem, it started, you know what I'm saying, and now look at it. If we all have, I don't know if you guys have children, but most of us have children, and so it's almost like, okay, well, if Ving Rhames, if I don't choose to try to do something about this problem, who will? So I'll put it on me now. We can't really rely on our government anymore. I mean, I know at my age, I don't think Social Security will be around. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so who knows what it's going to be like. I just was reading that, they're getting ready, 3,000 more jobs may be gone and, in the next week. Yeah. So it's almost like I have to take responsibility for my children. But I also, if I don't help that kid in the hood, in the ghetto, that kid one day will come knocking on your door with a gun.
Well, it's like Pryor said, when it's in black neighborhoods, it's one thing, and when it hits a white neighborhood, it's an epidemic. But with Columbine, I gotta take credit for white people. Shooting sprees are our thing. Black people shoot individually, but they don't go on random shooting sprees. That's white suburban rage. You'll hear about a shooting in a black neighborhood. That's like usually between two guys that have a problem. But somebody that snaps and just picks up a machine gun, that's a white guy. There's white guy crimes and black guy crimes. That's a white guy crime. Trench coat, Hitler birthday. That's a white guy thing.
Yeah, it truly is. Jesus. Well, back to movies for a second. Dawn of the Dead. Jesus Christ. That was a great movie. It's one of my favorite zombie movies, and I'm a huge zombie movie fan.
Well, the guy who directed the 3000, Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
I mean, and I think this was his first. That was his first feature film.
It's so well done. I mean, the cast is fantastic. I love the security guys in the store. That whole reaction to you guys is fantastic. But you kind of you ever get worried about being typecast as the tough guy?
No, let me tell you why. Because again, if you look at my resume, it's almost like I've done many different types of roles. For instance, did you see I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry?
No, I haven't
seen
seen
that.
Sandler.
That's my point. Right. But watch it. Did you see it?
I did not know.
Okay, see, right. But that film made over $100 million. But well, you guys didn't see it. Mainstream America did.
Yeah.
I play a gay fireman.
Right.
With a shower scene.
Really?
A
new shower scene.
That was the shower scene.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So, but, yeah.
Jesus Christ,
And
Danny.
it was a mainstream hit.
That was
I
a
don't think you have to worry about
mainstream hit.
typecasting.
That's a mainstream hit.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about typecasting.
Right.
We're looking at the
but
picture.
what happens is then I've done other films, but they haven't done as well. So
Right,
people in
right.
the industry may see, okay, well, the ones that do, I hate to say it, but, violence and toughness
being a
and
tough
sex
guy, yeah.
sells.
Yeah.
But, I'm from a Shakespearean background, classical training at the Juilliard School.
Yeah.
And Performing Arts High School here in New York.
And what do you do anything? Do you work out or something? Because you are a big motherfucker.
No, I box, but quite honestly, I've, now I just focus more on cardio. I lift weights, but lightly, because now I'm 51 years old. So,
Right.
So for me, it's more of health and staying in shape versus bulk or
bulking
anything
up.
else.
Do you know I did 150 push-ups on Friday, and I'm still sore? I literally
That's
am.
very good, though. If you did 150.
No, not in a row. It was over. No,
It was 15 sets of 10.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was 150 sets of one. I am in terrible shape. I am still hurting.
Come on, take care of yourself.
How hard is Shakespeare to do as an actor? Because, I'm a very mediocre. It's easy?
It's easier because Shakespeare kind of says what the character is feeling on the line. Versus you having to do a whole bunch of inner whatever you. If you just speak speak truthfully, a lot of Shakespeare is the thought is right there. He gives it to you
It's in
to
the
be
spoken
or
word,
not
right.
to be. You know, that is the question.
What is that? Like, I just listened to that and I'm like, I wouldn't know what to do with that. I really wouldn't.
Just say it.
To be or not to be?
No, say it slow. Take a pause, say to be, and then take a pause, and then say the other.
To be or not to be?
Well, what did you guys think?
I'm not buying it.
No.
Well,
look.
It must be a little harder for some people.
Well, fine. You fucking act in front of Ving Rhames. Go ahead. You go right ahead. You do a great scene with him.
But Jimmy was honest. See, Jimmy, just saying to be or not to be, you can just do it straight, and it still says the same thing.
Yeah, it does say what it means.
Yes.
I mean, there's no misinterpreting it.
Right. So if he
based
doesn't overact, he's fine.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid to put effort into when I act. Because I'm always afraid that they're going to know I'm trying. I'm going to embarrass myself. It's always this really weird block I have when I try to act. It's hard. You're unafraid when you act. You're completely unafraid.
Yeah, it's just like, watch this. But honestly, I think I did a film that didn't do well, but again, different role type, called The Goods, right? And now again, it didn't do well. It was released in theaters and what have you. But it was with a ton of comedians. It was Will Ferrell's company. Will Ferrell has a small role in it. Jeremy Pivens was the lead in it, and then a bunch of comedians. And what I found was comedians are more fearless than the average actor. They'll take risks because they're used to trying a joke on, hundreds of people, and it may work, it may not.
Bomb,
So that's a risk. A lot of actors, even some of our, more quote unquote star actors, are safe. They stay in a certain lane.
Yeah.
And, they don't take a risk. And that's why I think an actor like Johnny Depp, he goes, he tries things. And he's also in the position, of course, to say, okay, I want to do this and that. And the film's a finance.
But as a comic, it's weird. If something doesn't work, you know how to get out of it. Like, I know I'll just address it to the audience and go, well, that stunk. But you can't do that in a scene. Like, if we're doing a scene and I do something and it stinks, I can't just go, "Blah, that's horrible," and it stays in. It's like we have to stop. And
if you're doing a scene with Ving and something goes wrong, just wake yourself up. You're dreaming.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Maybe I've just wandered onto the set and I'm standing outside his trailer with a script, shouting, hoping he comes out. Humiliating myself.
Yeah, Ving's got a hard out.
Hard out in 3 minutes.
Yeah, in 3 minutes.
Oh, all right. So let's promote the film Piranha 3D. It comes out August the 20th. Dreyfuss is in it. Christopher Lloyd. Jerry O'Connell. You kind of play like the Roy Scheider role, right? As the
I play the one black guy in the movie.
Oh, the one black guy in the movie?
you know what happens to him.
Yeah, it ain't good.
Yeah, that's me. The black guy you see in the film, that's me.
Hopefully not the same thing as in Pulp Fiction. That was worse than death.
No, but with that, this is interesting with Pulp Fiction quickly, is that scene, I think, made the character more human.
Yeah.
Because it put him in maybe the most vulnerable situation a man can be.
Sure.
So it was interesting, the response I got from the hood, from England, whatever. It really put Marcellus Wallace on an iconic thing, and that's where the line, "I'm going to get medieval on your ass."
Yeah.
You see, it became a classic line.
Yeah, the whole thing with him being almost this indestructible superhero type character, and then having to go, "No, man, I'm pretty fucking far from okay."
Yes.
It's like, wow, he's a human being. Yeah.
I do want to say one thing. Piranha 3D, that's August 20th. But after that, I'm working on a film with a guy named Aaron Jones. He was part of a group they called the Junior Black Mafia in Philadelphia. Aaron Jones is the first person who was indicted. He's on death row now because of organized crime who got the death penalty in the history of America.
Wow.
Yes, he's the only guy of organized crime who got the death penalty. You can name John Gotti. You go back to Al Capone. They didn't get the death penalty. So now we're doing this film on his life, where we're doing the film to show his perspective of it, and it was really one witness's word against his that got him the death penalty. So, our thing is really to, put this film out, and the hood put up the money to do the film, which is very interesting. Like, I mean, maybe the first time in the history of cinema or whatever, but where the hood says this guy may deserve X, but not life. So that's Aaron Jones of the Junior Black Mafia. So I'm going to death row right outside of Pittsburgh tomorrow, as a matter of fact, to talk to him.
Oh, I was going to ask if he's still alive. Okay,
yeah,
when's the execution date?
Two of them went by already, but he's been in prison now on death row for 21 years. And he did something when he was 25.
What was he convicted of? What was it?
He was convicted of homicide.
Was it a one-on-one killing, or was it a kid, or was it a rape murder, or was it just one of those things that happens during a robbery?
Well, he was a drug dealer.
Okay.
You know, and he had a group that sold drugs. So with selling drugs will come, death.
And have you met him yet, or no?
I talked to him on the phone from death row.
It's got to be chilling to meet somebody who has a date that they know they're going to be killed.
But it's almost like, too, again, I don't condone murder and what have you. But what I try to do is I understand the situations that put people in a place where they may do something illegal. I've lived in that life.
Yeah, you're closer to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, in L.A., if I grew up in Harlem, but in L.A., kids now, hey, you got to worry about getting back home from school because of Crips and Blood gangs. You see, and what I keep trying to tell, especially young black kids, because now we're and Latino kids, we're in psychological slavery. If I don't like my black skin and my wide nose and my kinky hair, and you as a black man are a reflection of me, I don't like myself. So I'm not going to like you. And in reverse, maybe if I love myself and you're a reflection of me, maybe I'm more likely to love you. Maybe. You see?
What does that take to get to that point?
Well, I look at it this way. I always tell people, look, we've conquered, quote unquote, physical slavery. So we can conquer psychological slavery. But what you got to realize, you spoke about history earlier. I mean, I grew up, honestly, in a public school system here in America where, honestly, I was just taught a lot of lies. Christopher Columbus discovered America. But it says right here there were some Indians, some native guys already there. Some native, so, well, if you want to say he was the first Italian, if you want to say something like that, but no, he wasn't, no, there were already people here. It's things, like, for instance, if I ask you, where's Egypt? Where's Egypt?
North Africa.
North Africa.
No, see, he would probably have said the Middle East. Egypt is in Africa. Now, if you read the King James Version of the Bible or you read the Jewish Torah, how much of it takes place in Egypt?
Yeah.
Where's the Exodus from? Egypt. Do we ever think of it as Africa? Did somebody have a tan?
Yeah.
That anybody in the Bible, it says Moses was married to an Ethiop. Well, what color are most Ethiopians? Maybe you get, where's Israel? The Jewish people have noses similar to mine. There's a whole lot of things we kind of just don't
skate over.
Yes.
I think for some reason,
did Jesus Christ have a tan?
Sub-Saharan Africa has always been looked at differently than Saharan Africa over the years. Yeah.
Yes, and why? That's
we
one
don't know. We're not going to.
Ving, I think there's one way to handle this. You should stand up and knock his teeth out.
Yes.
That's how I would like to see this
no,
handled.
I have no problem with Ving
He's been
Rhames.
misbehaving the entire interview.
I have no problem with Ving Rhames.
Yeah, just keep insulting him.
I'm a giant fan.
But he did, no, I'm kidding.
Jimmy's an instigating. He is an instigating.
We have to wrap because they're saying he is. But he
got
was
TV
right
to
though.
do,
Ving
Vic.
was right. I am stupid, and I would have said the Middle East. I just jumped on your knowledge.
That's how we've been conditioned to think of Egypt
was right.
as the Middle East, not as Africa.
Yeah.
Even if we started saying there were Africans in the Bible, you see, then what? Who?
People go step back.
Yes, exactly. And even if we say, do we think any of the Egyptian slave owners of Jewish people ever slept with any of the Jewish slaves?
Oh,
what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
But we never
Maybe a
really.
few.
You get my point. We never. And by the way, my name is Irving.
Okay.
I'm
Irving
a nice
Rhames?
Jewish guy. Yeah. Stanley Tucci gave me the name Ving.
Really?
Yep.
Ving.
Stanley Tucci.
Ving's
In
a
college.
great name,
Did it
man.
come out of anywhere or just
No,
made it up?
Irving.
Oh,
He just
Ving,
called
okay.
me Ving.
Ving.
We got to get you out of here.
Nice
You got TV to do,
I'd love
Ving.
to, yeah. Good.
Thank you, the great
Thank
Ving
you, fellas.
Rhames.
God
We
bless.
really,
Yeah, Piranha 3D in theaters August 20th. A pleasure. Ving Rhames, everyone. It's really nice to see Anthony agreeing with everything Ving Rhames said today. You got an open fucking mind. I like that.
I was
like
saying-
that about you.
I was saying that, though.
He had a
before,
lot
it's
of
like-
intense things to say, and you were right there with him, agreeing.
Like, what am I going to do? Get in a fucking race argument with Ving Rhames?
I'm just saying.
Like,
I'm just saying it because people have noticed.
oh, I know. You know what you do? You do your interview. You're like, it's not about getting into some controversial fucking pissing match with Ving Rhames. It's about talking to him and seeing what he has to say. It's not about me all the time.
He bought an apartment for $3,000, and it's now worth $250,000. Holy shit, that is an
Yeah,
investment.
but it's in Harlem.
Have you been up there?
Huh?
He
What? Are you kidding me?
It's
why?
125th, 126. What he's talking is safe shit now.
But I don't care if it's safe. Why would I want to go there? What's there that I want?
You look at other people and how they live.
I don't want to see other people and how they live. I want to see my television.
You don't like
see
getting
my
out.
Pool.
Why don't you like getting out?
I love getting out.
You should check out the Apollo
into
Theater.
my pool. Why would I go to the
The
Apollo?
whole area. There's a lot of
Oh,
characters
my God.
up there.
Oh yeah, characters. All right.
Very, very safe now because there's a Gap store there, so you know it's safe.
Oh, so it's safe?
Yeah, you see a Gap store, you know you're okay.
I have no reason to go there. I mean, I'm sure it's nice.
You don't like to
I'm sure
explore?
No. No.
No?
There's no reason for me to explore Uptown.
So, in other words, if you see a lady on the street bent all the way over, picking up garbage wherever she goes, that doesn't interest you enough to follow her?
I would not follow
for an hour
her.
like I did yesterday?
I'd kick her in the ass. Hopefully you have her fucking face plant.
Instead of being home with your newborn son, you'd rather follow an old lady pick up garbage? What the fuck's wrong with me? I know why I do it, because I know I could be one of those people very easily.
I'm pooling it. When I get home, I am fucking in the pool.
Did you like the discussion with Ving Rhames and how Anton really went at it with him? Really gave him a piece of his mind?
It's Ving talking. I'm not going to get into a pissing match with him.
I'll say this.
He said a lot of stuff, man, that were hot buttons for you, though.
It's like,
But did he really... I was listening to him.
yeah.
He didn't really say anything that was irrational at all. He's a guy who comes from he's probably in a gang growing up.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's like...
But at least he's doing what we discussed, where you have to take care of your own community. Here's a guy, he's had a great life, and he's now trying to give a little back, as they say.
He's lived a certain way and in a certain position for some of his life. He was raised in that environment. He's got his own ideas about it, so that's what it is.
I liked him. I thought we could have.
He was great.
Hung with him for a long time.
I asked him about
totally
the stores in the community or whatever. Like, don't they get shit? But and then he mentioned gentrification, and it's like it's hard to argue with, because it's like most people who live in these nice new buildings, they might get some nasty looks or remarks from people in the neighborhood who are broke. But as far as I know, the majority of them are not getting beaten up or attacked. I mean, they're not.
Exactly. There's there is a good side to that, but what am I going to do?
I think a lot of
Get into a fucking
So, I mean, it's like-
tree-style argument with Ving?
No. Oh, Ving would really give you a jawbreak.
I know.
I didn't mean to instigate.
That was so funny.
I wanted fucking Ving to really
That
yell at
was
you.
so funny. Could you just punch him in the teeth?
I will.
I would love to get punched by Ving Rhames.
Me too, out of respect.
Great, exactly.
He's a bigger guy than you think, too.
Yeah, big meaty fist.
Also, mark this day, August. What is it? 10.
Yeah, something like
2010. I will never bring up the scar I got as a kid, but when I cut it
man.
opening up an orange juice can.
Why? That's a war story.
Yeah, is it? He opened his chest, and I think Danny said it during the break. There was a Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Fucking
Sam has it on video.
holy
Does
shit!
he? It's
yeah, he's got it on
Huge.
video.
I've never seen that either.
Huh?
I've never seen pictures of that or anything anywhere.
No, I think we got an exclusive today. He opened up his shirt, and how do you describe the scars he had on his upper chest?
It looks like burn tissue almost from like
Yeah.
that
It looks
type
like
of scarring.
Massive.
Right.
That's a nasty
It looks like a
stab.
really bad branding. Right?
Did you like when I said to be or not to be?
That was classic.
To be
Literally.
or not to
Or
be.
not to be.
But I didn't want to overact it.
To be or not to be,
Yeah.
Louis Beans.
Yeah. Two beans or not two beans.
You were in a no-win situation right there.
to be or not to be.
Not to be. Or to be not. It was Kobayashi Maru of acting right there. You had no chance of winning.
But it was cool the way when he said it though. It actually just sounded right.
Yeah.
He's probably really good at Shakespeare.
And he wasn't acting it. He was just
be.
saying it. Yeah.
Who cares if you're good at Shakespeare? It's still Shakespeare.
It's hard to do though.
You ever fucking try to sit through a Shakespeare in a park or something?
No.
Getting bit by mosquitoes, drinking shitty wine on a fucking smelly blanket.
Sounds great.
Sucks. Shakespeare in the park blows.
Fuck that.
Pacino's doing a Shakespeare. He's obsessed with Shakespeare.
Yeah. I'm doing King Lear.
Yeah.
The crown makes me look taller. Keeps my wig on in the wind.
Where's my sword? I want to stand on it.
No, he was good, man.
Oh, you see
fucking
Ving Scars
very
in
cool.
Undisputed, a movie he did.
I am.
And what about the shower scene where he's looking all hot and
He
sexy?
looked like he was soaping up like this.
Oh, hiding it up a little?
Yeah,
Hiding it?
kind of hiding, but I don't know.
Ving and Undisputed.
No. I guess that was a.
Oh, there
yeah,
you go.
There's some fucking.
Yeah, but you would think that's just fucking Hollywood makeup.
Yeah, you'd think it was made up.
Wesley Snipes, that was the fight movie. Didn't Wesley Snipes beat him, I think?
Yeah.
Should have asked him about that. I think Wesley Snipes beat him in the big fight.
Oh, no, man.
And Undisputed.
He's a big dude, though.
His
All
small
right, Google
hands.
an image,
It does.
Ving Rhames,
What
Undisputed.
the fuck?
You'll see the scars we're talking about. We saw live.
Wesley's going to jail for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, huh? What, tax evasion or some shit?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Pay your
something.
taxes and eat your Pop-Tarts.
Stanley came in. Stanley never comes in.
Stanley
for stuff
T.
like that. Never.
Yeah,
Not his
yeah.
style.
Yeah. He was digging Ving.
I really sense that Stanley's a problem when he gets angry.
You think?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, he's a hood guy.
yeah. Stan's the overly nice black dude in like a white setting.
Yeah.
But you just know, like he's the type of guy people misread and think that like, oh, you can't.
Yeah, you
my
can
dummies
fuck
will
with him.
misread him because he's being very pleasant in a work environment.
Yep.
You think he hates being the token?
No, I don't think he
man.
feels like that. He's a real
Holy
DJ.
shit.
Should we ask him?
Why did I ask? Why did I answer your joke literally? I'm sorry. You're joking. I answered it literally. Technically, no, I think.
Because no one knows these are jokes. That's my biggest problem.
No, I would have. If Ant had said that, I would have said the same.